great for rising. You know, so many of us as Black people are so limited in our abilities that we think we have. Because we have abilities, unlimited abilities. But some of us are so limited in our thinking that we can never think that we can do more than one thing at one time or have more than one thing at one time. Listen to this and I'll be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Ain't nothing funny than when somebody says something and then somebody grown responds. You know what I mean? Grown people shut down a lot of conversations sometimes, man. Somebody tweeted, said, an iPhone 12 in 2024 or 2025 is crazy. And then this grown woman said, I stopped knowing the differences between the iPhone once I started paying rent. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Now, you see what she said in response to what this person said, an iPhone 12 in 2024 is crazy. She said, I stopped knowing the difference between iPhones the day I started paying rent. Now, the fact that she says she stopped knowing the difference between iPhones the day she started paying rent, that means at one time she knew the difference, which I'm assuming she had an interest in iPhones. So why does she feel like because she was paying rent, she couldn't have an iPhone anymore? Does that mean she needs to come up? You see what I'm saying? If you don't want an iPhone, that's fine. I don't want an iPhone. I can afford an iPhone. I don't want one. To me, they're fickle, weak. But my point is, you know, like she's making some kind of revelation, like if you're paying rent, you shouldn't be interested in an iPhone. Black man, sometimes you don't have to have one without the other.
Once you start paying rent, car note, insurance, health insurance, we ain't even worrying about that.
A cell phone is a necessity. At one time it wasn't, because we had payphones, we had landlines, but I don't see any more payphones around. I don't see any, not many of us have landlines. So an iPhone is just a phone that a person may choose. When we go to buy a home, some of us like a 2-bedroom home, some of us like a mansion. We like different things. Nobody says that everybody has to have the same kind of house. Nobody says everybody has to have the same kind of car. So Black man, don't let nobody tell you that just because you're doing well or doing what you want to do as far as your home, your car, and your insurance, don't let nobody tell you that you can't also have an iPhone. We got to get out of this mindset that we don't deserve anything. Come up, Black man. Now I'm going to address some of the comments that was made in response to Sheila King's video. Now, looking at the response with this card person, I mean, they were talking down to people, you know, trying to, I guess, play the big shot, I guess you would say. An iPhone 12 in 2024 is crazy. But be that as it may, it's the responses that I'm talking about. You know, like I said, it appears that he was trying to be condescending, but it's the responses. I mean, to sit here and say something like, what it say, Colleen, I have a $50 Android phone from Walmart, but I also have a $5 bedroom house that's paid for. People need to get their priorities together. There are people who have their priorities together. They have an iPhone. They would think your 5-bedroom house is small. And they also have cars and rental property. So because they felt like they deserved that or they could afford that. Or if they couldn't, they went out and made themselves afford it. And then this Praise Always 777 says, call adulting. And I'm enjoying my 1.5-year-old Android as we speak. Well, I have an Android, by the way. But like I said, I can afford to say, an iPhone. I just choose not to have one. But to sit here and act like we have to choose between an iPhone and a house, that means we got to come up. We should be able to afford an iPhone and a house. So regardless of where you are right now, what can you do to come up in life? Even if you don't buy an iPhone, you should be able to afford an iPhone. So we got to come up, and we got to stop this business of thinking about we can only have one thing. We can't have one. And it's not just with the iPhone. I've seen it like Miss Shirley, for instance. You know, Miss Shirley, the little girl who dances so well. Somebody said, well, my mama needs to be teaching her alphabets. Who said Miss Shirley doesn't know her alphabets? Maybe Miss Shirley already knows her alphabets. You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's always got to be either or with us. She ought to be doing this. Or if you may say something about, if somebody goes out and protest against something, I'll just say about baloney. But they ought to be talking about fatback. How do you know they're not talking about fatback? We can do multiple things, Black people. We're capable of doing multiple things. We don't have to do one or choose one without the other. Sometimes we do, because sometimes the other one may not be good for you or whatever the reason. But in this case, you can have one and have the other. if you so choose. Black man, listen. You chose one and over the other instead of working to have both. Why did you do it? Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Support our youth in any way you can. Keep on churning till the butter comes. Albert C. Richardson, a black man, patent the butter churn U.S. patent number 446470, February 17th, 1891. I'm LilyBell. I'm just trying to create a dialogue. I leave you with this. If they close my book, you remember my story. A Nat Turner Runner production. Lock and load. LilyBell. Be encouraged.